Hi, welcome to my channel. I am your Inner Light Coach, and I'm grateful you've joined me here today. Let's step together through stories, rituals, and reflections. Thank you for shining your presence here. So, it's a late Tuesday threshold thoughts, and in this video, I wanted to talk about a dream that I had, and it was early Sunday morning. I had this dream. I did not do a Sunday Soul Sanctuary video because I was working on this, and I had actually 5 dreams, and they all kind of told a story. But I think it's important that I talk about the first dream that I had, and it's kind of funny. I dreamt that there was a thick piece of melted cheese, like a big glob of cheese, and I was trying to pull it apart, but it wouldn't pull. I couldn't get a cheese pull. So I had to cut it with a knife. And it was a nice clear cut. And then I went on to the next dream. But as I interpreted this through the dream interpretation and just some of what I felt it meant, and then talked about, well, I'll read through it. I'll read through my journaling, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So, the cheese dream, melted cheese is something desirable but unwieldy. Melted cheese is comforting, indulgent, warm, but also messy and hard to control. And it can symbolize a situation that feels good or promising yet overwhelming. Something you want, but it's not cooperating. A desire that's turning into a challenge. So, needing a knife instead of pulling the cheese is more effortless, so cutting was intentional. And the dream might have been saying, this is from the dream interpretation, this won't come apart on its own. You need a tool, a boundary, or a decisive action. Stop tugging, make a clean cut. It's the shift from passive effort to active choice. So it's getting a little deep here. And then it said the emotional tone matters. And then it asked me, did it feel frustrating, funny, gross, satisfying, stressful? The emotion is often the message. So this dream could be reflecting a real life situation here. Something is stretching too far. You're trying to separate from something, but it's clinging. You need to make a clear decision instead of waiting for things to naturally fall apart, or a task or relationship requires more structure or boundaries than expected. So I did admit that I was surprised when the cheese wouldn't pull. Who doesn't like a good cheese pull? It made me curious though why. And so I went to the next logical tool to get the cheese apart, which was using the knife. So the analysis went a little further, and it said that emotional shift from surprise to curiosity to problem solving is actually the most revealing part of the dream. Most people would get frustrated in the moment. You didn't. You adapted. You reached for a tool. You made a clean, intentional move. That says something about where your inner world is right now. So, from going to surprise to curiosity, surprise in a dream often signals this isn't going the way you expected. But instead of resisting, you leaned in. Curiosity is a sign of openness, readiness, and even confidence. It's the psyche saying, let's see what this really is. And from curiosity to using a tool, the knife isn't violent here. It's clarity, precision, and agency. It's choosing structure over struggle, intention over tugging, and a clean boundary instead of a messy stretch. It's the moment you stop trying to make something behave the way you wish it would, and instead work with what's actually in front of you. Symbolically, this dream might be showing you you're encountering something that should be easy but isn't. You're not discouraged, you're adapting. You're willing to use new tools or new approaches. You're ready to make a clear cut where needed. You're shifting from passive expectation to active choice. It's a very empowered response, even though the dream image is funny and mundane. If you zoom out, does anything in your waking life feel like that glob of cheese, something you expected to stretch smoothly, but instead required a more deliberate approach? Now, I really thought about this, and I went deep and I put some, emotion into this and thought about it. And my answer to this question was cutting ties with emotional abusive family, but they won't let go because they're not finished with the abuse. So, which made the dream make even more sense now, because what I've been dealing with in my waking life is actually that something that should release when you pull away, but instead it clings, stretches, resists, and tries to keep you entangled. And my dream self didn't panic, didn't plead, didn't tug harder. I reached for clarity. I made a clean cut. And that's the psyche showing my progress of my own strength. And so then it went on to say, what you're describing is really painful and deeply unfair. Emotionally abusive family systems don't let go because abuse was never about love, it was about control, access, and the ability to keep you in a role that served them. When you step out of that role, they often escalate, guilt trip, or cling harder. That doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It means you're finally doing something right. The knife in the dream is symbolic of what you're doing now. Not violence, not revenge, but a boundary, a decisive action, a refusal to be stretched thin, and a tool that creates separation where pulling won't work. You're not cutting ties out of cruelty. You're cutting ties because they refuse to stop harming you. And the dream shows your inner stance. You're not afraid of the truth anymore. You're not confused about what's happening. You're not waiting for them to behave differently. You're willing to use the tools you have. You're choosing clarity over chaos, and that's powerful. And here's the part I want you to notice. In the dream, you didn't hesitate. You didn't second guess. You didn't feel guilty. You simply did what needed to be done. That's your inner wisdom speaking. How to stay grounded when they try to pull you back in. Oh, so when people who have harmed you try to pull you back in, the most important thing is not the boundary itself, it's your center of gravity. If you stay rooted in your truth, their tactics lose power. Here are ways to stay grounded without slipping into anything that resembles therapy or medical advice. Just practical human strategies you can use. Name what's happening in real time. Abusive family systems rely on confusion. Grounding begins with clarity. When they reach out, say to yourself, and not to them, this is them trying to regain control. This is a pattern, not a crisis. Their urgency is not my urgency. Labeling the behavior keeps you from getting swept into the emotional undertow. Anchor to your why. You didn't cut ties on a whim. You did it because the relationship was harming you. When they try to pull you back in, remind yourself, I left for a reason. Peace is worth protecting. I don't owe access to people who hurt me. Your reason is your anchor. Use micro boundaries. You don't need dramatic declarations. Grounding often looks like consistent choices, small, consistent choices. Not answering immediately, not explaining yourself, not defending your decisions, not engaging with guilt trips or baiting. Every micro boundary reinforces your center. Regulate your pace. Abusive people try to create urgency because urgency destabilizes you. You can slow everything down, pause before responding, step away from the phone, take a breath, decide from a calm place, not pressured place. Your timing is your power. Stay in your body. When they try to pull you back in, your body reacts first. Tension, heat, tightness, adrenaline. Grounding can be as simple as feeling your feet on the floor, relaxing your jaw, dropping your shoulders, taking one slow breath. Your body is your home base. Keep your support system in view. You don't have to navigate this alone. Grounding is easier when you have a friend you can text, a journal where you can dump your emotional static, a ritual that brings you back to yourself, or a mantra that reminds you of your direction. Even one supportive presence can counterbalance a whole family system. Remember, their reaction is proof, not temptation. When abusive people escalate, guilt trip, or cling harder, it's not a sign you should return. It's confirmation that leaving was necessary. Your dream already showed you this. You didn't tug, argue, or plead. You made a clean cut. So here's a grounding mantra that you can use when you feel the pull or old patterns arise. You can say, I return to myself. My peace is my home. What is not mine cannot hold me. And then there's a ritual for emotional protection. It's just a 2-minute ritual. Plant your feet on the floor. You can stand or sit with both feet on the ground. Feel the weight of your body settle. Let your shoulders drop. This signals to your nervous system, I am here, not there. Step 2. That was step 1. Step 2, take one intentional breath. Inhale slowly through the nose and exhale through the mouth as if you're blowing out a candle. On the exhale, imagine releasing their expectations, their voices, their pull. Step 3, draw an invisible boundary with your hand. Trace a slow circle around your body, front side, back side, like sealing your own space. As you do, say out loud or silently, only what honors me may enter. This is symbolic, not supernatural. This is a declaration of sovereignty. Step 4. Place your hand on your chest. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your presence. Say, I choose myself. I choose peace. I choose freedom. This recenters your identity and your truth, not theirs. And step 5. Close the ritual. Tap your foot gently on the ground once. It's a physical punctuation mark. It means this is done. Just a little tap. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I just felt this was something that I needed to share. The dreams got better. By the end, it was very pleasant. But I hope I feel like this can help somebody. So let's get back to love. God is good. Love and light to all. Until next time, walk gently and shine brightly.